don't do this unless you want to yield maximum performance. I had a bright idea one day. I noticed that I always have my computer sitting on the floor in my case, and I was like, all that heat that gets trapped in that case, only a small amount of that heat can get pushed out the back end of that case through fans. So I was like, what if I completely laid my computer across my desk without being constrained in a case, that I would get better cooling and potentially better FPS. So off I went, disassembling my entire computer just so I could lay it out on my desk. And once I tore everything out, I had to put my motherboard on its motherboard case just so I can make sure that the motherboard doesn't run into any issues. And then two, I just had to figure out how to cable manage this rat's nest. Honestly, it doesn't look pretty, but it works. So once I added the graphics card, figured out how to power everything, I put my case in the background just so I could press the power button, and boom, she works. Now, I did a small game test before I took my computer out of the case, and I was yielding around 70 degrees Celsius for both my graphics card and my CPU, and my average FPS was like 240, which isn't horrible. Like, I mean, I'm not always a consistent 240 FPS. The really important number that you want to look at is the 1% lows. And I think my 1% lows were around like 100 FPS, which means that if I'm playing at 240 frames per second and then I hit that 1% low and drop all the way down to 100, I just lost 140 frames in a second, which is really bad. So I then redid this testing again, and my temperatures are 10 degrees cooler for both my CPU and my GPU, which makes sense because my room is pretty much cooling my system now. Overall, better performance. I was more consistent with my frames, so I was more like 240, and my 1% lows were a lot lower. Sometimes I still hit that 100 FPS 1% lows, but it was more like 130, 140. So kind of like a 40% frame increase. Not really frame increase, but just being more consistently higher frames, which is important, and that is definitely due to cooling. The hotter stuff runs, the less efficient it's going to be. It's just like anything in the world. A car, a computer, your phone, a camera, everything's just going to operate slower with heat. Humans, we need water. If we're super hot, we're not going to perform super efficiently. Exact same thing it says. So once stuff starts getting hot, it starts running a lot less efficient. So taking your computer out of your case, going through the hassle of completely disassembling your computer to lay it out on your desk next to you, worth it at all? I'm going to say no, one of two reasons. The performance increase is so minor. I mean, we're talking minuscule, and if your room's already hot as it is, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference. Two, you do kind of run into like a risk. Mind you, your case does somewhat protect your computer. So like if I spill water next to me, if I for some reason was stupid enough to have the water next to me and I spilt it, there goes my computer and a potential fire. So there's definitely risks associated with this, so especially do not do this unless you know what you're doing like I do. If you don't know computers, don't do this. Don't stick your finger in a fan while it's running. Don't break a pin while you're moving your motherboard. Don't plug in something wrong. Just don't. I would suggest you just don't. But I'm doing this for your guys' enjoyment. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, definitely hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so I can make more of these kind of entertaining videos for you. And I will see you guys in the next video.